I recently, last 5 years, discovered that British colonialism is still happening, and as I get older, I'm becoming more conflicted about where I live and how I see my ties with Britain. So there's a line that mentions Salomon, Perros Bajos, Diego Garcia, which are the homelands for the Chagotian people who were displaced from their homes in 1973 to make room for a US base. My conqueror. She circles me with her Portuguese compass and settles just long enough to quench her thirst. She discards my Arabian name, Dina Robi, and calls me surname from Island of the Swans. With the hunger of 1,000 Dutch sailors and a tongue as rough as a sea biscuit, she stakes a longer claim and makes herself comfy, bringing her own Javanese deer, pigs and chickens. Defending her lust for breasts and thighs, she blames the ship's rats for sucking the dodo from its shell. Looking past my ebony limbs, she sees carved boxes and marron hands at work stripping my forests. She renames me in honour of Prince Maurice of Nassau. A good choice, sure to scare off pirates, keen to catch a bite of river shrimp flamed in rum. Disheartened by cyclones and rat bites, she departs. For 11 years, I belong to no one. I sleep to the purring of turtle doves. Sheltered by a circle of coral reef, my oval shape rises from the coast up to the peaks of mountains. A westerly wind carries her back. She unbuttons her blue naval jacket slowly and takes me. I'm her L'Île de France, a petit pain. She brings spaniels. She captures marrons who are pinned down and flogged each time they run. She takes her fill in Port Louis, shipping casks of pure sweetness to the tea-drinking ladies of Europe. Young Baudelaire jumped ship on his way to India. His stepfather wants to cure him of literature. Once a poet makes his mark, no tide can wash away his words. Oublié, parfumé, que le soleil caresse. And what can I say? He was so delicious. Sadly, sweet Baudelaire soon finds himself in such a profound melancholy after seeing a whipping in the main square. After 2 weeks, he sails to France, leaving me a sonnet. With the pride and jealousy of the British Admiralty, she punishes me with her passion for corsets, sea blockades, and endless petticoats, wide as the empire. The oldest profession is alive and thrives in my harbours. Strumpets and exports, cross-dressing captains, girls in white breeches, boys who like collars and chains. She brings a pantomime cast of Malbars and Lascars to my shores, their passage back to India guaranteed, if only they can read the scripts. The cane breaks backs. Tamil, Urdu, Hindi cling to their skins like beads of sweat. Hundreds of tongues parched like the mouths of sweethearts in an arranged ceremony. She's kind and ruthless and insists on the Queen's English. At night, Creole verb slips in and makes mischief. Each time she comes, she pretends it's the first time she's landed here, but she soon becomes bored, tired of flogging and kicking the dogs. She doesn't know which uniform to wear. I'm no one and everyone, she complains, and you have no more distinguishing marks left to conquer. Salomon, Perros Bajos, Diego Garcia. Ha! She pulls down her Union Jack. It falls like a sari around her bare feet.
Okay, this is a process poem, I call it. I'm doing a process of tiny interventions on found text. The text comes from the Irish Times from 2003. So I will read first the original found text and then 4 more sections with the text slightly changed each time. It's called Why I Live in Egypt. The lifestyle here is very simple. I start my day with coffee and fruit on the beach in the morning. and then either work on the beach talking to people about the diving courses, or take a group out and guide them through the corral. In the evenings, the whole working community gathers to play pool, have a simple dinner, maybe falafel or Egyptian pizza, and watch The Simpsons at 6 p.m. Some things are the same all over. The lifestyle here is easily understood, uncomplicated and humble. My day starts on the beach in the company of coffee and fruit, and at that time I work talking to human beings about courses in plunging steeply downwards, or disabled groups, and guide them so as to inspect all or part of the corral. In the evenings, the extent of the functioning community gather to cooperate in pool, own simple dinner, maybe falafel or Egyptian pizza, and clock The Simpsons at 6 post-mortem. Some personal belongings are personal belongings, all end. The elegance of biography in this place is easily understood, straightforward, and of low rank. A particular period of my past jumps on the edge of the sea in the commercial business of coffee and fruit. And at that period, I campaigned talking to human livings around roots in plunging exaggeratedly towards a lower point, or put crops out of action and control them, so as to examine all or the role of the corral. In the evenings, the degree of the functioning society inferred to cooperate in a common fund, own low intelligence dinner, maybe Arab pepper or Egyptian Italian pie, and clock the family at 6 post-mortem. At least a small amount of private belongings are personal belongings, any whatever end. The elegance of my story at this time is understood easily, and it is also moving straight ahead. But I am of low rank. A certain period of my past leaps forth to the edge of the sea, to the business of coffee and fruit. During that period, I campaigned to men living through the route of thrusting quickly towards a point of lower levels to put related people out of action and control them. Thus, I could examine everyone for the role of the chorus. At the conclusion, the level of functioning in the society leads to cooperating into a low intelligence common fund, to owning all, maybe Arab, Egyptian and Italian food. Clock the family at post-mortem 6. At least an amount of their belongings are belongings, whatever the end. The beauty of my story is now easy to see, advancing sharply, even though I am of low worth. A certain period from my past leaps to the forefront of memories, the time I was in the businesses of coffee and fruit. Then I campaigned to men on surviving through the principle of pushing lower qualities to incapacitate and control brothers. In so doing, I examined everyone for the role of collaborator. In the end, the low level of activity and intelligence in society leads to my ownership of the common fund. Perhaps southern and eastern thought, too. Count the families, and at least, after the 6th death, an amount of their belongings becomes movable possession, however they die.